So, Your Excellency, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to have this interview. So, actually, there was a key message by the Kenyan President William Ruto that we have to change the narratives around Africa, and instead of being a victim, into a leader in global action addressing climate change. In Your Excellency, could you please shed light on further details about like Africa's potential in the infrastructure sector?
Thank you very much, Amira, and allow me at the outset to greet you and greet all the young media people and the young media fellows. It's really refreshing, because if there's anyone who is going to change the narrative of Africa, is all of you. So this is the opportunity also to thank you for the excellent role that you are playing, not only for the African Union, but for Africa in general. Indeed, I mean, the way the African Union has been leading, the change in Africa is by changing the narrative and projecting the true image of Africa as the continent of opportunity, the continent of hope, the continent of youth. And when it comes to specifically to climate, it's true that Africa is the hardest hit by climate disasters, and the least contributing to emissions and the least contributing to the climate issues, the negative issues or the implications. However, we face them very severely. That said, Africa is front and center when it comes to any solution regarding the climate issues. And why is that? Because, it's enormous source of renewable energy, because we are largely endowed with all energy resources in our beloved continent. This is one. Two, we are the youngest population, and we are the ones, carriers of innovation to the world. Renewable energy also relies very much and will continue to rely exponentially, almost 500 more on minerals. And the rare minerals that are critical for the batteries and for the renewable energy to function properly, have in their home, the majority of them in large quantities, more 40, 50, 70% for some minerals are have home here in Africa. Moreover, 60% of the world's arable land, the land that could be cultivated for food, is here in the continent. So whatever really the perspective you're looking at, whatever the sector you're coming from, Africa is the one that is the land of hope and opportunity. So we came to this event to insist on this message, and it's also how would I say it's a continuous message that we have been carrying along in everything that we do, whether the program for infrastructure development, the programs for renewable energy, the programs for digitalization that are essential also to measure, to update, to innovate any of the infrastructure that we are doing. And this is all critical also for the climate issues. And the message that we politically formulated as an African common position last year in June of last year, when we developed an African common position when it comes to energy particularly, and which was adopted later on by the heads of states and government in July of last year, the one that we carried, as I said, to the COP27, and again here and forward again to the COP28. What is it that Africa wants? Africa wants justice. Africa wants access to energy, access to affordable and state-of-the-art infrastructure, and we deserve it. Finance is still an impediment, and one of the key messages that also came of this event is that to change the structure and architecture of international finance in a way that support Africa's development, that is good not only for us in the continent, but also good for the world.
That's perfect. Your Excellency, Africa hosted many summits this year. For example, in February, we had a summit on infrastructure and construction in Senegal. And now we have the first edition of Africa Climate Summit. And we have seen the attendance of international partners in these summits. In your opinion, how can Africa make the best use of the ongoing momentum to achieve the African Union Agenda 2063 and also scale up investments?
The events that we are having, either this one or the one on finance of the PIDA program, the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, I think they demonstrate one thing. We are not coming to any of these events or organizing any of these events empty-handed. We have specific projects to be financed, to put on the table. We have specific propositions that we are putting on the table. We are not here to make speeches. We are not here seeking any kind of aid or charity. You did not hear this anywhere. We are looking for investments. We are looking for partnerships, win-win partnerships. We are looking to also to home many of the value chains of the various, say, if it's renewable energy or if it's batteries, so to have them housed and homed here in Africa, in order to create jobs, to create opportunities. And guess what? They'll even be cheaper when they are, made here in Africa or used here in Egypt. And we are looking also for technical expertise and technology transfer in order to allow this to happen. So we are coming with practical terms. It's not for a show. It's not for a speech. We have specific projects, as I said, and the African Union. I'm really happy that my team and we have been, we developed this program for infrastructure development in Africa, the PIDA program, that is 70 major, mega regional and transcontinental projects in the sectors of transport, energy, water, and digitalization for the continent. And this is our message. Let us focus on work, let us focus on delivery, let us focus on finance, and make sure that the benefits of these, directly go to every African woman and man.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Most welcome.